Armageddon. A world whose name is known across the Imperium. Armageddon. A world whose name has become a byword. War and destruction on a massive scale. Armageddon. Where the fate of 1,000 worlds hangs. The balance.
Armageddon is an Imperial hive world and industrial world located 10,000 light-years to the galactic northwest of Terra, in the Segmentum Solar. It was the site of several of the greatest conflicts ever fought by the Imperium, including the First War for Armageddon against Chaos, and the Second and Third Wars for Armageddon against the massive Orc War, the warlord Gazkul Thraka. The world of Armageddon is the fourth in its star system of 10 planets, and is the industrial hub of both the Armageddon subsector and the greater region of the surrounding Armageddon sector. Many worlds within several light-year radius of Armageddon rely on its large industrial output. Thousands of standard years of intense industrial activity have reduced the surface of Armageddon to barren wastelands and polluted oceans. Humans can only survive within the artificial environment of the world's massive hive cities and Imperial military facilities underground. Food must be imported from off-planet, and clean air and water are precious commodities due to the inhospitable environment conditions that exist outside of the planet's hive cities. Almost all regiments of the Astra Militarum's Armageddon Steel Legion are trained as mechanized infantry who operate from the relative safety of their vehicles. During the 13th Black Crusade of 999 M41, the fortress world of Cadia was destroyed, with a good portion of the network of Necron-built Cadian pylons that have long prevented the Eye of Terror from naturally expanding into the Cadian Gate lost with the fall of Cadia to the forces of Abaddon the Despoiler. The ancient warp rift began to expand across the galaxy, opening the Despoiler's coveted Crimson Path to Terra, and birthing the Great Rift. This tear in reality, known also as the Kikadatrix Maledictum in High Gothic, is a galaxy-wide warp storm that has rent the galaxy in half, spreading it from the Eye of Terror to the Hadex anomaly in the eastern fringe. Though the influx of the massive warp energies unleashed at the Great Rift's birth, Armageddon has been transformed into a hellscape. Demon armies dedicated their service to Khorne and Zane swept across the battlefields, no longer chained to the laws of reality. Luckily for the Imperial forces remaining on the world in the wake of the Third War for Armageddon, including 25 regiments of Astra Militarum and the elements of the 9 Adeptus Astapes chapters, and the greenskin opponents of a variety of unknown clans, the Demon Legions were as content to battle among themselves as to hunt down and eradicate the mortal survivors. Imperial reinforcements led by the elements of 9 Astartes chapters within the Salamanders and overall command recently succeeded in halting a demonic ritual that would have brought Angron, the Primarch of the World Eaters, back to the world that had defiled him during the First War of Armageddon. The history of the planet includes the varied Ulnor Crusade. The origins of this industrial hive planet have been lost to modern Imperial scholars, but in truth the story's vitally important Imperial world actually harkens back to some 10 millennia earlier, the closing years of the Great Crusade during the great campaign known as the Ulnor Crusade. After the Crusade, the First War of Armageddon rent the planet asunder. The First War for Armageddon was perhaps the least well-known of the conflicts fought on the world, and probably for good reason. Chaos cultists worshipping the Chaos God Khorne initiated a rebellion against the world's Imperial government during a warp storm they summoned. Soon a great space hulk appeared over the planet, containing none other than Angron, the Demon Prince of Khorne, who had once been the Primarch of the World Eaters' Traitor Legion. After the Second War for Armageddon, the invasion was a massive force of orcs that arrived 941 M41 and led by the mighty warboss Gazkul Thraka. The Imperial Planetary Governor, Overlord von Straub, was completely unprepared for the attack, and his own pride and incompetence had only made matters worse, especially the defense of the planet was taken over by Commissar Louis Dante of the Blood, Angel Space Marines. The Third War for Armageddon.
Have I ever seen such scum as this before? Yes. The last time they came here, Has been so long that the younglings don't remember, or you're simply too stupid to know who I am.
Lord Commissar Sebastian Yarrick. 57 standard years to the day after his first attempt to conquer Armageddon, Ghazghkull Thraka led a second Orc war against the planet in 998 M41, unleashing the Third War of Armageddon. Commissar Yarrick and many of his heroes who had fought in defense of the planet before were called to battle again. The conflict ultimately ended in a stalemate, with neither side able to take full control of the world. Though the cost in lives and treasure was immense, Armageddon will need many solar decades, if not centuries, to recover from the war. Although the Third War for Armageddon has ended with the Imperium winning a narrow victory, fighting still continues on the planet. Ghazghkull has left the world behind, pursued by Commissar Yarrick's Astra Militarum fortress. Accompanied by High Marshal Halbrecht and a full Black Templar crusade at his back, the Orcs across the galaxy have come to regard Armageddon as a kind of Valhalla, or sacred place for their kind, where they can always come to find a good fight. The Imperium must still send more troops to battle to keep the planet in the Emperor's realm. The events that are transpiring for this fight for Armageddon take place between the Great Rift's opening and the loss of Cadia, and the cusp of the end of the Third Armageddon War. Munitorium Officer Stark has been deployed from the Segmentum Solar and High Command to ensure that they finally put Ghazghkull in his place once and for all. Neither one of these individuals are aware of the slumbering beasts that dwell underneath, or the terror that will happen once the Cadian Gate finally falls. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Steel Legion mission, where Mr. Stark will be deployed. The noble house Sigvolison has lent 1,000 extra units to the ongoing campaign. However, High Command, including the Great Commissar Yarrick, will finally field himself at the discovery of strange and unknown structures that have happened to the northwest of the current engagement that was happening just prior between the jungle and the desert wastes of the central region of the planet. With the Orcs being so spooked, it's only a matter of time before the discovery leads to an ancient slumbering creature within. Millions-year-old constructs will soon be awakened. Lord Commissar Yarrick will personally foresee the upcoming battle. How many men will be lost in the current crusade? Stay tuned for the next episode of Steel Legion, Mission 3, to find out. And if you like this kind of content, and want to be able to support this veritable kind of content, please be sure to broadcast this Voxcast to all sanctioned Imperial social medias. Be sure to let people know that we are doing this live, as well as these lore videos intermittently placed throughout, to educate those that are new to the Warhammer 40,000 universe. Every project that is released in this series is a fan project that is written by the fans and funded by the fans for the sake of no profitability. We hope that you enjoy the continuing content, and as always, for the thought of the day, only in death does duty end. The Emperor protects.